Morning, guys. Welcome. Okay, the week. Let's go. Let's get straight into it. I have so much to talk to you about, and ironically, after filming this last week, my vlog last week, I thought to myself, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week. What if I run out of things to talk about? And I guess the universe just works like that, and things come up, and that's exactly what happened. I ended up getting injured, and that is why this video is labeled as around a back injury. So let me just recap on a couple of things before we get into that. So my current stats, really briefly, macros got dropped down to 2.2 last week, just to bring my weight down a little bit. It has been fluctuating a little bit this week. It's gone up just because I'm premenstrual, but hopefully next week there'll be a little bit more consistency and I can see what happens. I do track everything in my menstrual cycle, and I think it's really important that girls do that. So if you don't do it, there's so many apps out there that you can do that with, because there are so many things in your cycle that consistently happen, and if you don't track it, you don't know that they happen, in terms of sleep, in terms of mood, in terms of water retention and weight and everything. It affects your life. Anyway, so my waist is coming in, so don't have my stats because they're on my phone, which I'm filming with, but I'm down to 72.5 through my waist. I think that's dropped like a couple of centimeters, but my weight has slightly increased. Now, what else? So the back injury. Let's rewind. Around about 4 years ago was the initial time that I had hurt my back significantly, well, to what I thought was significant. And I was deadlifting. I had only just gotten into strength training, so I was very inexperienced to what things should feel like, or in comparison to anything else. Anywho, I was doing 3 reps, and I think the first rep was good. I remember very vividly, actually. First rep was good, second rep was not so good, and I wanted to finish on a good note. And then I went into the third rep with a touch and go, not able to brace properly, and yeah, felt like some popping in my back, and it was horrific. I remember driving back from Sydney, having to stop to put my lifting belt on whilst I was driving. And I like to think that my pain threshold is quite high. I'm not a pussy about things, but it hurt. It was shit. And after that, I pretty much told myself that I was never going to lift heavy again. Haha, funny. And yeah, that was when I joined the Navy, and all of my training was body weight, very lightweight endurance work, and it was worse than ever. It was worse than what it was when I was lifting heavy. So after I got out of after I finished my rookies through the Navy, I decided to get back into some strength training and start from ground zero. I remember deadlifting with just the bar for quite some time, and that was when I really dove into my own research about strength training, and yeah, it was a really good learning curve for me. And so since then to now, I've only really had troubles with my back every so often. So I would say maybe during that 4-year period, probably around about 3 times since then, which is pretty good. And personally, I think it just comes down to warming up properly, activating particular muscles during that warm up, and prepping them and priming them for the movements that are to follow, and a lack of bracing. So next day was sore. I woke up during the night and, you know, trying to turn around like this. And I was afraid that I had done something more severely. Actually, I was afraid, is not the word, convinced. And so I want to pop in somewhere around here a little video that I did the morning after my back injury. I was on the way to the pharmacy, so here goes. So, I have hurt my back. Joy. I was squatting last night, and very well actually. They felt great. Had 4 sets of 7, and in the last set, second rep in, I feel as though I wasn't bracing hard enough because it felt light. Big no-no. You should always treat an empty bar as if it's a heavy one. So, and I just kind of like felt my core weaken a little bit, or like release a little bit, and then come back in, and I kind of like did this like little internal wave thing. So anyway, I can kind of explain it. So it didn't feel right, and I have felt this before. I did what I believe was some disc damage a few years ago, but I never actually got it scanned, got an MRI, because I had piercings in my back and they didn't. I was too stubborn to take them out. Anyway, so I think it's just re-aggravated that. I feel like crap. I still, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to see how it plays out. I actually had a physio appointment booked today for my shoulder, which my shoulder's never had an issue, but my wrist has, and I feel like that is coming from my shoulder. So I had that today, but I may just change the purpose of the visit from my shoulder to my back. Yeah, so that was the morning of, or the morning after, and after speaking with Joey, he gave me a lot of reassurance that, you know, he's experienced these things before, and he opened up my eyes to some of the things that I should be doing, opposed to the things that I had done in the past after feeling like this. So ordinarily I would be a nothing bitch, as Elise says. I would do nothing. I would, you know, stop training for the week, and then the week to follow, then halve everything that I was doing. When there are so many things that you can still do with a sore back. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing all of your accessory movements. And so that's what I did. Within 48 hours, I'm not even joking, I hit my programmed top single for 147 in a squat, and it was amazing. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. My technique was good. The only thing that still held me back a little bit, I took the rep in an extra controlled manner, instead of kind of like the speed of a tennis ball. Like as you drop the tennis ball, you kind of bounce in and out of the hole, and it kind of increases speed and to then shoot up. I didn't take that approach because mentally I was still scared, and I got in a little bit of trouble from my coach from this because, and as he explained, you should never ever go into a rep doubting yourself. Otherwise just don't do it. End of story. That's how you get hurt. And the previous reps should have given me the confidence that 147 was going to be fine. And so the back injury, there is no disc damage, because I wouldn't be able to do the things that I can do if I had disc damage. It was just a strain in some supporting muscles, and you know, the movement that I made sure that I did straight after, you know, I still did my accessory work, and I made sure that my coach advised me that to use a pain threshold scale and to never exceed about a 3. So if something is giving you about a pain level of 4 out of 10, then come back to make it a 3. So if that means that you need to decrease reps, or you need to decrease your weight choice or your exercise choice, then that's fine, but you can still do something. And I honestly feel like that is what got me back so bloody quickly, like 48 hours. And it just so happened that that number 3 of that pain wasn't even within my program. Like I could do all of my program and not even get to that pain level of 3. So that to me was astounding for me. Yeah, it was a pretty cool feeling. I quickly want to go over with you 2 ways that I brace personally, which works for me. There are particular muscles that are part of your inner core, and 2 frames are your diaphragm and your pelvic floor. And the way that I switch both of those on, or the image that I think about, is using your breath like you're blowing up a balloon and filling up your belly, opposed to breathing in through your chest. So really utilizing that pressure and pushing up against your belt and pulling your anus to your belly button. So pulling in through your pelvic floor and almost feeling like you are trying to push your poo out and hold your wee in. They're the 2 things, and you just know how to make those things work when you think about it like that. So that works for me. And so from here forward, and I got some really good advice from a good friend of mine, and he said to me that all he does now before going into a set or a rep is just to think about being present in that moment, nothing else on your mind except for being present in every single rep. So that is my advice to that. I also want to put in my top single so that you guys can see that progress and see how that works. So let's put that in here. Good morning. It's Friday morning, and I just wanted to check in with you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys, let you know, update you on how good I'm feeling, the confidence, you know, obviously the fact that I thought that I was going to miss maybe a week's worth of lifting. In the past, when I've felt like this, I've almost immobilized myself, which is the complete opposite to what I did this time. And I hurt myself on Tuesday, and yesterday I squatted. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. So like, you know, within 48 hours, I was 90% better. Makes me so happy. Anyway, I am off to work. I've got some clients this morning. We've got a staff development day today, and then I have a few more clients this afternoon. I'm going to get some training in between. Hopefully I can deadlift with some accessory work in there as well. Okay, bye. I wanted to give you a quick little update on some of my clients through SuviFit, and I want to show you Steph, who has been doing absolutely amazing. Here are only 3 weeks worth of before and after pictures. She's been doing sick ass. Check it out. Good job, Steph. And yeah, I can't wait to continue to see what she's going to produce. She's been getting stronger, she's been getting leaner, and to be honest, her mindset has improved drastically, which is it's the most beautiful part for me personally, just to see her shine like that. So yeah, guys, if you're interested, remember you have 2 weeks. So the 3rd of June is when my next intake starts. You just shoot me a message on Instagram under SubiFit, and we can just have a chat about whether or not the program is going to be suited for you or not. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.